So if you've been paying attention to the international news this week, and of course to U.S. lawmakers' response to it, you've no doubtedly seen that there are mass protests, thousands of people in the streets in Cuba, because the country is currently basically experiencing a massive lack of resources for their people. Running out of supplies, running out of medical supplies, running out of the basic things these individuals need to survive. And so there's mass protests. Our government has come out and said, we stand with the people of Cuba. Oh, this is horrible what's happening to you. Democrats and Republicans alike, everybody's standing together, linking hands, saying, we're standing with you, people of Cuba. Now, a couple of them have actually gone as far as to call for regime change in Cuba. But the United States has a rather sordid history of regime change in Cuba. And as all these politicians come out and say that we stand with these protesters and we demand better for them, it's important to point out that a lot of what's taking place in Cuba is a result of more than 60 years of U.S. sanctions that have been in place on Cuba. In fact, at a recent UN General Assembly, the United States and Israel were the only two countries to vote to basically keep Cuba in this current sanctioned state. But the United States has been doing it since October of 1960. That was when the very first U.S. sanctions were placed on Cuba. Then, after they overthrew Batista, they got Fidel Castro, and Fidel Castro actually wanted to normalize relations between the United States and Cuba. The Eisenhower administration at the time was suspicious of Castro's motives here and basically said no. And that forced Cuba to basically double down with their Eastern European allies, which further pissed off the United States, helped the Cold War really get going. And then even after the Cold War ended, though, the sanctions remained. And each time a new presidential administration comes in, this is an issue. Obama, to a degree, attempted to normalize some of the relations between U.S. and Cuba. Donald Trump put more sanctions in place, and now we have Biden, who swears that he's standing with the people in Cuba. So lift the sanctions. End this holdover from the Cold War that is not doing anything except punishing Cuban citizens. Keep in mind, folks, these sanctions were put in place by the United States to do exactly what we're seeing today. To get the people riled up, to basically choke them to the point where they had no choice but to go to the streets and demand action and demand change. We as a country just thought it would happen 60 years ago. We didn't think it was going to take 6 decades for the sanctions to finally choke off the country enough to where the people got pissed off enough to go out in the streets. The United States did this. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. The United States did this. They may not be 100% responsible, but they are right up there at the top, I promise you. And we could make things better for them in a way that doesn't involve regime change, in a way that doesn't involve sending our military down there. We could lift sanctions immediately. We could once and for all finally actually end the Cold War and say it's done. No more. Effective right this second, normal relations with Cuba. That's on Biden, that's on Congress, that's on all of them right now. All of them who swear to God they stand with Cuba. Prove it. Hold the vote. Make it happen. If you can't get enough Ring of Fire, we encourage everyone to subscribe to our channel for fresh video content 7 days a week. And for even more from me, you can follow me on all social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @FairandBalanced.